I'm really excited for us to be getting on our training today. We've got Kat with us, which is really, really awesome. And I'm super excited to be doing kind of like a little bit of just a interview questionnaire kind of thing back and forth. And I was hoping that more people would actually be kind of like in the live. Amira, if you can see the group chat, can you go and just respond to them? Because I just
got it.
Thank you. But yeah, because we want to chuck it out there and see if anyone kind of has any questions that they want to bring to the forefront, and kind of just fill in any gaps that anyone's been feeling with what's going on in their business, whether it be the next promotion that you've got going on, or customers or team or whatever. Just put it out there and open up the floor so that people can ask those questions and get, Kat to answer them. But I'm going to start us off today, and I think one of the most important questions for me right now is probably to ask you how you navigate through, obviously it's a roller coaster ride, having your own business and balancing life, like being a mum, being everything. So kind of what your tips are and your go-to things when it comes to kind of picking yourself back up and just manifesting again, if you've kind of been feeling in a bit of a lull, and what you do to kind of manage that.
Oh, no, I get it. This is perfect for this morning. I even messaged Deja like, yeah, babe, I'm all good, but I'm literally still in bed in my jammies because baby's had a shit night. But you know what? I really like that stuff too, because I think that you guys need to see that part of the business. So often you just see everybody polished, looking good, having their shit together. And there's days when we're barely hanging by a thread. And particularly when we were building, it didn't look glamorous. It was often, for me, I shared this before. I built this business single with 2 small kids, and I still build now a 6-figure income around 4 children, homeschooling, and being basically a full-time mum. So for me, it's not the glamorous, hey, look, I'm sitting down in front of my desk for 3 hours, because, man, if I had 3 hours a day to do that, that'd be awesome. But I don't. The reality is I'm multitasking all the time. I'm, making my kids breakfast and following up people at the toaster. I am literally, putting on a show for them so that they can have some quiet time and sitting down going through my list. I am always wearing 2 hats. And, for some people that doesn't work, but I feel so many people tell themselves they can't build this business because they are so busy. And I think the thing is that we just have to change the perspective on that and realize that done is better than perfect. That was huge for me. If I was always waiting for the moment to be perfect, if I was always waiting to have everything sorted out, it was never going to get done. But I knew that this business was all about consistency. I knew that it was super important to touch my business every day, even when I didn't feel like it. I had to consistently be, doing some high-paying activities, because that's what builds momentum. And the hard part is, guys, is life will happen and you will have to have certain amounts of time away from your business or doing less amounts of high-paying activity. And that's just life, right? That's reality. We can't change that. But the thing is, when you do that, it creates a lull in momentum. And that's just the reality of it, unfortunately. So for me, it was always, I would rather do a little bit every day and try and keep that momentum building than lose it. But the thing was, plenty of times in life when I had no choice and I did get to lose momentum in my business. And I think the reality is that you've got to come back bigger and faster. You've got to work out, why did I sign up to this business? Is it still important to me? Because if it is, this is the time to roll up my sleeves and really get going. And, again, done is better than perfect. You're not going to have the 5 hours every day to sit down and treat this like a full-time business. But if you can, right there, if you can work out some time to make it a priority, it will show back up. But I feel like when I've lost momentum, or when I've felt like, okay, I'm not getting where I want to be, I need to give myself a reality check. And I know that that's not everybody's cup of tea, because some people really want that stuff externally. But I feel like that's where you got to kick your own ass, and no one's going to rescue you. You got an upline here, but it's not their job to come and knock on your door every time that you disappear. And if I'm really transparent, my upline went missing for 2 years. 2 years. 2 years, didn't reply back to me, didn't ask how I was doing in my business. You know what? I made those 2 years my biggest fucking years of the business, because I was determined to prove to myself that I didn't need somebody. I was going to do it myself. So my biggest trap is that I see so many people come into this business, and if their upline isn't on the ball all the time, they feel like they've got an excuse to not do it. You guys are lucky, because where you've got you're tired, mate. You don't like this story. When you know, like, you guys lucky because you've got Deja here, who's bloody bomb as fuck, but you're going to go through times where life hits her. She's pregnant, right? And you really got to roll up your sleeves and have that fire inside your belly, because she can't be your boss. She can't motivate you every day. So if you've lost momentum, it will be coming through right now. What's important to me? What do I really want to achieve from this? You guys have parted with money to be here, right? Like, every single person, whether you've got just the products, whether you've bought your franchise, whether you've done whatever, like, you've invested money. Just show up now. Now's the part that you think, well, why did I say this? I'm not going to waste my money. I'm not going to waste my time, and I'm going to make it happen. Does that give you a little bit of info? I'm a bit like probably a no excuses person. So when you say, how did you get back out of momentum? I just kicked my own ass. And I feel like people need to do that a little bit more. Does that help?
Yeah, that does help. I love the honesty too, because like, obviously with different people and different leaders and different group trainings and sessions, there's always going to be a different perspective, kind of like what you said. Nothing's ever going to be the same. And I think that's why it's really important to have a different perspective, because sometimes, you know, mine will just be different. You know, I'll get on trainings and I'll say different things. But to have the reality check from somebody who just hit a $10,000 promotion, you know, is like a really huge thing. And I know that you really talk about the team and how it was like a team thing as well. And that's, I think, why it's so important to have you in here, is because these last few months, like you've said, although it isn't my job to be messaging people individually every day and being like, hey, you know, pushing shit uphill, if we are kind of moving together as a collective, it makes it a lot easier when you've got everybody kind of behind you, because at the end of the day, this business doesn't happen by, you know, this doesn't happen by yourself. It's like a collective thing and a team thing. And I think if you could kind of speak to that a little bit too, about not babying people, because I know that you can tend to kind of get out of balance when it comes to wanting to baby people, and then being like, but fucking, how do I do this as a team? You know, how do we do this as a team? But I don't want to baby people. So can you kind of like shed some light on that as well for anybody who's feeling a bit stuck with that?
Yeah. And look, when I come into this business, I've recruited so many people over the years, so many. Like, I think it'd probably be mind-blowing for you guys to see my actual numbers. I would say probably close to 100 over the 6 years that I've been here, personally sponsored frontline. And the thing is that, you know, like, I'm in a different stage of my business now. I definitely don't plug into frontline as much, because I've already built my leaders and they're kind of everywhere in the team. Like, Deja's definitely not my frontline, but she's definitely one of my leaders. So it looks a bit different for me now. But for you guys, you're building your frontline, right? Now, the people that you bring on, they're not always going to get it. They're necessary, because you can't do this business alone, right? Sometimes you're going to bring on somebody and they're a fucking diamond, right? And you're just like, yes, I've got one. You get it. You're like me. You're running. You're excited. You want more choices in life. You don't want to keep doing this 9-to-5 grind like all the normal shit, right? But there's people as well that just will sign up, will have all the hopes and dreams and literally do nothing. And one of the biggest traps that I see is that people then think it's their leadership. Because, I mean, like, reflection's always a good thing. If you can look and say, hey, maybe I didn't onboard them properly, maybe I didn't hold their hand, maybe I didn't show them what to do here, awesome. But the nature of the beast in network marketing is that not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody is here to really make a residual income, because it's going to be a lot of challenge. There's going to be a lot of self-worth. There's going to be a lot of rocks unturned. You know, it's not just like a wage where you show up. You've actually got to work for yourself. So that's not everybody's game. But the thing is that it is necessary to go out there and find the numbers. So don't get disappointed when your team don't behave like you want to. I think the perspective change, just like Deja mentioned, is that you're not anyone's boss. You don't owe anybody anything. All you're doing right now is giving them a gift of this business. If they get it, awesome. If they don't, maybe later, right? But what I see is that people bring on 2 or 3 people, and if those 2 or 3 people don't quite get it, they beat themselves up and think, this is impossible, I can't do this, you know, I'm not a good leader. And the reality of it is, that's all bullshit. This is just the beast. This is just the game. This is why you need to really get, I guess, a little bit thicker skin in the fact that it's really never about you. And for me, like I shared with you guys, going for that EMD bonus, I was really stuck in a place of making it about me, because I was a little bit terrified that, you know, that was a huge push for my self-worth. You guys have heard my story. It might look like I've got all my shit together on social media, but I come from a really broken background. So there was a lot of shit that I needed to fix to be able to hit a $10,000 promotion. Like, that messed with a lot of me. So for a long time, I got in self-sabotage mode and I was making it about me. And it wasn't until I really kind of was open with a lot of the team and said, hey, look, this is what's on the cards. And I watched every single one of them stand up for their own vision and their own business, that I realized, shit, this goes so much bigger than me. Like, this is about what a whole collective of people working together can achieve. And it was that little perspective change. I'd already had the change of not everybody's going to get it. But then I had to realize that I've got to turn it over to the ones that want it, right? I can't be everybody's boss. I can't be everything for everybody. And that's exciting too, because like my vision looks different to Deja's. My vision looks different to Amira's. My vision looks different to Tanya's. So by me chasing mine and by you guys chasing your goals, you're going to open up the doors for other people around you to have permission to chase theirs as well, which is really cool. But I think the biggest thing is at the start of the journey, which, like, you guys have been in the business for a while, so you might not seem like you're brand new, right? But in my eyes, you guys are all little babies. You guys have all got, you know, like, so far in your journey to go, because you're only just developing the skills. And I think it takes a good 18 months to 2 years to just develop the skills. If I'm honest, you can do some awful cool things in that time. But the reality of it is, you know, it's like an apprenticeship. You take some time, you got to build, you got to grow, and you can't shortcut that. So during that time, guys, just get really excited. Recruit whoever you can, but come from the perspective that whoever introduced you, not your boss, you are. You're the boss. You show up for yourself. You determined how successful you're going to get. You have all those keys in your hand pretty much. But the hardest part, I think, for a lot of people is to actually get out of that mindset when they first come in. You know, because for you guys, has anybody else in here ever really owned their own business, or has it always been showing up for a boss? Yeah, it's pretty common, right? But the cool part is, hang on, I'm going to give her to her big sister. Hold that thought for a second. This is why you have kids first, right? You have older ones, then you have babies. Baby, could you hold your sister for a second? Thank you. Look how good she is, guys. Big sister of the year. Thanks, darling. Perfect. Yeah, so I think, guys, the thing is together if you work as a team, but the thing is, if you're going to work as a team, you have to remember that your part of the team is to bring people into your own team, right? So if you look at it, how do I visualize it without a whiteboard, right? So I bring people in, and one of those was Tanya, and then Tanya brings people in, one of them was Angel. Angel brings people in, one of them was Amira. Amira brings people in, one of them was Deja. Deja brings people in, one of them was you guys, right? So that's the beauty of what happens. Now, I see so many of you guys wanting to create success and wanting to create the community and the culture, but you're not bringing enough people in. And it's totally fine. Like, if you are just here to have hobby money, I've got no judgments, because I think that's a beautiful part of this business too, is that not everybody needs to create a six-figure income. But if you really want to create change in your life, it's about creating a team, because you can't do that shit by yourself, right? The whole difference with network marketing is that it's not a 9-to-5 grind. You don't have to work 40 hours a week. I earn more than my friends. They work 40 hours a week. I work maybe 2 hours a day, right? That's network marketing. That's why we do this, because you want to create change. You want to create that time back with your babies. You want to create that flexibility. But it is going to take those moments standing at the toaster, you know, messaging people. It's going to take those moments. You right there?
Yeah, where's it?
There's one out there.
Oh,
There's one out on the bench. Yeah. Otherwise, there'll be one in there somewhere. See, like, look, here we go. Classic example of the multitasking, right? It's going to take those moments. And I see so many people saying to me, oh, they don't have time, or I can't do that, I'm so busy. I get it. But don't let that hold you back from your dreams, because it holds every fucking one back from their dreams. It does. Like, how many people can you look at right now that you know are playing small, especially in your circles, right? You look at them and you think, you're a good person. You've got a good heart. You've got a good brain on you. You can create change. And yet they're still stuck doing the same old shit because they're listening to their excuses. So that was a really long-winded answer. But my biggest thing is become part of the team, because you can't do this by yourself. And I should touch on that too. Become part of the team that you're in and create your own team. You have to play that fine line, because if you just want to create your own team, guess what they're going to do? Just create their own team. And that's not duplicating. Yeah. So you have to plug into your uplines and become the best version of yourself. Listen to them. They've got gold. They know it. They've been in here longer than you. And that was hard for me, because I don't like being told what to do. It's not in my nature. Ask my husband. But the thing is that that's how I get successful, right? Because they got more gold than I do. They've been in here. They've got the nose. They've got the kickbacks. They've got the, you're in a pyramid scheme more times than I have. They know how to answer that. Yeah. So become the best part of your team that you can, and then go to work on creating your team. And it's almost like you drip that down. You ask questions from them, and then you tell your team, and you get them to ask questions from you. So yeah, because that'll be the hardest one. If you guys want to just, that was honestly like one of my biggest lessons, is that I wasn't super teachable. And if I be honest about that, that was what held me back at the start. I thought I knew everything. I'd already run a business. I was super hungry about this. It was more or less just get out of the fuck of my way. I'm going to create this. I've watched NMDs before. I can do this. And I wasn't actually being teachable to what people were saying or doing. So you guys are awesome, because I'm already preaching to the choir, right? Because you're on training, you're plugging in, you're listening. But the biggest thing is now is like, Deja's amazing, right? She is literally amazing. I watch her and I just think, mate, you got it. Like, she intimidates me. So for you guys, I'm thinking, don't let her amazingness intimidate you, because every single one of you is a mini Deja. Whether you see that or not, you will attract people who will look at you like you're gold, because they're your tribe, right? And for a lot of people that I work with, especially women, they cut themselves off because they think, I can't do that. I'm not that person, right? It's one of the biggest bullshits that we tell ourselves. So you guys have to see the gold inside you as you recruit. Don't take it personally, remember, because so many people, they'll recruit three will do nothing, and they'll think, oh shit, I can't do this. The fourth one could have been your fucking diamond. The fifth one could have been your diamond. Now, I look at my upline, right? Now, she's one of my really good friends. And like I mentioned, she went missing for 2 years. Who else would love to have an EMD business underneath their pay line? Do you know what that means? That means you've introduced one person who has created $200,000 worth of pay line every month. Now, she's probably recruited a good 100 people in her time here in Juice Plus. All she needed was me. but I wasn't the first person. I don't think I was even the 50th person that she recruited, right? But now she's set for life. So I think some of you guys are cutting yourself off really short by taking things personally when people go missing. And now that's the same as customers, and it's the same as team. For some of you guys, you're going to be in the perspective and instantly your mind is thinking, fucking bring this on. Like, give me the people. I'm going to go out there. They're adding into the opportunity group. I'm getting my 100 list down. For others, you're going to be going, Jesus Christ, I can't even recruit 1 or 2, let alone 100. That's your shit, right? That's on you, because it's not a reality. There is 100 people out there that want this. I'm telling you that. That's not rocket science. There's people out there right now that are angry with their existence. They're angry with their boss. They're angry with how much is being paid into their account every month. They are wanting more. You just have to go find them. Right? Now, of course, that's going to be work. So that's what rewinds to, do you know why you're here? Do you know why you've got to work at the toaster? Do you know why you've got to, like, work in between breaks? Denise, you guys know Denise, right? She was an NMD that I created over the years. Now when she went NMD, collated an image. She's a teacher, right? And she collated an image of all the back doors of the toilet stalls in the schools that she's worked in over those 2 years, because that was where she said she built her business. Sitting on the toilets or like closing them in so that she could get a chance to reply to messages, so she could get a chance to do her high paying activities. Now it's funny because people would be like, I don't have time. There's plenty of time. You just got to find it. You don't have people. There's plenty of people. You just got to find them. And the thing is, know really, really why you're here. And don't be realistic about that. I've shared before, if people had said to me that, in 2 years' time, I'd be earning multiple 6-figure income, that I would be remarried to an amazing guy, that I would own $1 million property, that I would have time freedom with my kids. None of that was even somewhat realistic. I had so much debt. I had so much blacklist against my name that I thought it would be impossible to ever even own a property, let alone one that's worth multiple millions, right? So you guys have to stop playing small is my biggest thing. Stop playing small. Introduce as many people as possible. And now the one thing is, I want to be really transparent about this. There's going to be multiple leaders that you guys need to plug into. Multiple leaders. Now that's the same as me. It's one thing that I've got to work on too, because I've got my favorites. You will learn more from the people that aren't your favorites than you'll learn from your favorites, right? Because they hit things differently. You guys are probably all like Deja in certain aspects. That's why you adore her. That's why you show up to work for her. But you guys go and watch something of Adam's and it'll hit differently. You guys go and watch something of Linda's or Lauren Lahab's and it'll hit differently. There'll be different things that get said. Now, for me, I know that there's certain aspect. I'm really great at mindset. I'm really great at telling you guys that you need to get your shit together and you'll go off and do it. The hardest part for me is my area of genius is not telling you how to do it. Right? The actual, well, this is what the message looks like. This is how this goes. That's Adam, right? For me. So I know, okay, cool. I've got numbers. They're not transferring. Okay, I've got people on my list. They're not getting over the line. I need Adam, right? Deja is amazing at inspiring you guys, getting you guys motivated, working through your deep shit. I see it. Just in the topics of, she's like, okay, guys, today's topic is this. And I think, wowzers, amazing. Right? But if you're going through your list and you're thinking, I still don't have people to get over, that's not anybody else's job but yours to be like, okay, well, where can I find that info from? Does that make sense? And for some of you guys, that'll be like, yes, sweet, that's this call. That's, Monday night call. That's something else. But I think being resourceful on that is another huge way to be such a great team player. Yeah, make a little bit of sense?
Yeah, I think that that's great advice too, because just you speaking on that, I think opens up the doorways for people to be like, oh, okay, maybe getting on one training a week isn't cutting it for me. And if they've kind of been sitting in the same spot thinking, what can I do to get out of this? I feel like my questions aren't being answered, or I feel like you said, there's gaps in between whatever. That's the most important advice that I kind of was told at the start too, is get on as many trainings as you can. The 3 things that Amira told me when I signed up that helped me kind of take off straight away were get on as many trainings as you can, be teachable, and annoy the shit out of her. And I was like, oh, I don't want to message you every day, but I did. And I know that it's a really hard thing to do, because I've been on the other end of, man, I'm sick and tired of you telling me what to do every day. Because I wasn't very teachable either. You know, it's not something, I don't wake up in the morning and think, yeah, I just want to be told what to do. And I can feel when other people are feeling the same way, because you feel their antennas go up and they're like, yeah, I know, I'm already doing that. And it's like, I'm not saying it because I don't believe in you. It's because I'm exactly the same as you, and I've been in that position. It's almost like a self-sabotage mechanism where you know you need the extra support, but you refuse to take it because you just want to be the guy that knows everything. I've been there. We've all been there. Plenty of us have been in that position, but I think it's really, really important. Like Kat said, every leader and every training is going to answer different questions. And essentially, if you're not tapping into those trainings, if you're not kind of, that's a high pain activity. Trainings are a high pain activity. I remember getting, I think it was 6 months into the business and being like, you know what, fuck this. There was just so much shit going on around me, as we all have. And I was like, I can't do this. Disbelief doesn't kind of come to an end. I guess you just find different ways to manage it, right? But I got on a training, and from that, my whole perspective changed. And I think that's the most important thing that Kat said today, is that if you feel like your needs aren't being met, one, give yourself a good kick up the ass because your chances are you know what it is that you're doing to sabotage yourself, because who knows you better than yourself, right? And then 2, get on a fucking training and ask for the support that's needed. I have messaged Kat and Amira throughout this business experience of mine almost at least once a week, at least, asking for support or asking for help, because that's what everyone's there to do. And everybody is happy to support one another. And I know I just said it, Amira said that there's 10 minutes left. So I think probably my last question for you, Kat, would be, I know that there are lots of different kind of trainings to get on. What would you say for somebody who's kind of not very comfortable with where they're at when it comes to kind of the numbers side of things? Because you know how you said, I can talk about this and blah, 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 I can talk about that. Do you think Adam would be a good person to tune into when it comes to numbers and those kind of things? Because he's a really like business template driven man on training.
Yeah, 100%, honey. And I think like the way that I say it is, you need somebody strong and feminine, especially like we're all women right on here, I'm pretty sure. You need somebody strong and feminine. You guys have got Deja, like you've got her there. You've also got me, you've got Linda, you've got Tanya, you've got Amira. Like you've got lots of beautiful, strong women who are getting shit done. But the masculine energy of numbers, like you look at Adam's business, like I'm not sure if you guys know, but Adam's business, like his pay line is insane. Like it's $1 million a month, his pay line, like the amount of business that he gets paid on. So he knows his numbers. He is the best person that I've ever worked with inside Juice Plus on numbers. So for you guys, there's 2 calls that I would really recommend that are Adam's, and it depends on which level you are. If you are a senior partner and you're looking to qualify, or a sales coordinator or something above that level where you've got the initial win on the board, right? Where you're an SP and above, it would be his level up calls. Now that's either today, I think he still does one today, I'm hoping, and Tuesday night. So you can jump on either or either. Don't jump on them both because it's the same content. It's a waste of time, right? But choose one or the other. And then the biggest thing is leave half an hour after to actually implement stuff. Because yes, training is a huge high paying activity, but if you just keep learning and don't do any of the shit, you're not going to make any of the money, right? So jumping on one of those, I'm pretty sure it's called Level Up, right? He keeps changing them and they keep confusing me. But the Level Up calls are amazing for anybody who's looking to qualify or really build this big. But if you're still in that start level of really like working out what leads to what looks like what, how to get to senior partner, you need to be getting on his Thursday call. It's called Kickstart, and it's him on a Thursday, and he breaks down exactly how to get to senior partner. Now, for some of you guys, you might have got to senior partner so quickly just by default that you don't even know how you did it. So perhaps that call might be good sometimes too, to break that down, because your job now is to teach other people how to hit senior partner. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you plug them into Adam's call, right? I think so many people, he's got a really cool analogy where he says, pick your seat on the bus. And so many people are trying to be everything to everybody. They're trying to be a great leader. They're trying to be a great distributor. They're trying to get as many customers as possible. They're trying to get as many team over the line as possible. There's going to be one thing that you're really good at in this business. That's your zone of genius, right? That's where you want to go. If you haven't found it yet, develop it, right? Throw shit at a wall and see what sticks, right? What feels good. But once you have found that, that's your niche. Use all the other leaders to fill the seats in the bus. So for me, I don't sit there and try and do a level up call every week, because it will be shit. And I would rather spend the time with my family. Go watch Adams, right? Does that make sense? Find which person fills your need for the seat on the bus. But you must implement time. You must implement time. So if you're still learning how to drive the damn bus, you've got to go and do that work. There's no point just consistently listening to mindset stuff if you don't know how to actually create a senior partner, right? You have to find that line. And again, we've got a really cool template. If you're inside my Team Love page, you'll see it in the announcements. It has all of the trainings outlined. I don't think it's got Deja's in there yet, obviously, because she's a little branch outside of that big community. But every single training that's led by one of us in the APAC, right? Get on it. Have a feel. See where that sits, where it meets your needs. I'd be saying to you guys, pick 2 or 3 trainings a week. Don't go overboard, because again, it's a little bit of a self-sabotage technique that it's like, I'm on the trainings, but nothing's moving. But are you actually putting your feet on the ground? Are you actually implementing what's doing? Are you doing the high paying activities every day? Training's great to keep you warm, but you have to be moving the needle in the business yourself. The thing is, as me, Deja, Adam, we can't do the work in your business. We can inspire you. We can tell you what's possible. We can show you how far you are to qualifying, how close you are to senior partner, but we can't get in there and recruit people for you. I wish we could, because I'd have a killer business if I could do the work for everybody, but it's just not the way it is. Right? So yeah, my biggest thing is work out a couple of ones that really work for you. Work out that flexibility, because there's going to be people that are your cup of tea, and you could just keep plugging into them. You're not going to grow. Find the people that are different. Find the people with the flares, that perhaps the visions that you haven't thought about, the way to look at the business that you haven't thought about, because that's a whole different area of expansion. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love the reality check too of like, you can, because I always think you can get on as many trainings as you like, but if you're going to get off the training and go to sleep for another 6 hours, then it's kind of no point, because nobody knows the gold that you've just got from those trainings anyway, because you're not putting it out there. So yeah, be teachable and put your teaching out into the universe. Make sure people know what it is you're doing. If it can be as simple as taking a screenshot. Amira does it every single time she's on a training. Take a screenshot, put it up, introduce the idea, welcome the fact that there's something going on behind the scenes. And even if you're not going to put up exactly what it is, like, let people know something's happening, something's going on, you're excited, let them feel your energy. Just make sure people know what it is you're doing. And I think that's really important. I'm really big for that. So thank you so much for today, Kat. I think that's been a really good eye-opener, that the possibilities here are endless. You just have to be willing to actually take full advantage of them. And just be active.
So for you guys that are like, where you're at thinking this isn't going to work, can I do it? This is my view when I wake up every morning, right? This is outside of my bedroom door. It is. It's like a fucking hotel, right? Still party decorations up from my kids. But we now live in out the back of the Gold Coast in a huge acreage property. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. So whatever you guys want to create, get fucking clear on it. Get hungry. Stop wasting your time is my biggest thing. Time is going to go past really fucking quickly. It's July. Can you guys understand that? 7 months of the year have almost gone past. time is going to go. Like, work out, just get excited, do the action, and, you know, work out how to do what you need to do as you need to know it. Right? I think that's the biggest thing. Deja just hit that excitement on the head. The excitement is what gets people in your books. Even if it's fake sometimes, right? Can't be excited every day. Trust me, especially if you've got kids, right? So sometimes you have to get up and you have to focus specifically on what makes you excited, because that's going to be attractive to people. If they see you being excited, they got nothing to be excited about, they're going to be in your inbox wanting to know what's going on, right? And then that's how you get to help them change their world. All right. So, okay, less than a minute. I will stop talking. Thank you so much for having me, guys. Honestly, I can't wait to see what you guys create within the next couple of years. It's absolutely game-changing what you've got. Don't be shy. Don't keep it in the cupboard, right? There's people out there that need to know about what we've got. And then as soon as you've got them, plug them into people who know more. That's what we do. Easy done, right? Big love, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.